guys, it's me, Abigail Zoe Lewis, reporting for Kids First. Today, I'm at the world carpet premiere of IMAX's original film, Pandas. I can't wait to learn more about Chen Chen's little journey and interview some amazing people. Stay tuned. Panda out. Hi, and I'm with Drew Fellman, who is the director of Pandas. So, what was it like filming in China?
Well, here's the coolest thing about filming in China. There's pandas in China. So that meant we got to spend time with pandas, which, let me tell you, that's the way to spend your day.
So how long did it take to film Pandas?
Well, it took us about 5 years to make this movie, but we were filming in China for about 3 months.
So what was it like working with pandas?
Well, that's like saying, what's it like to have like a big cuddly panda climbing up on your shoulders? It's pretty amazing. You know, when we're working with the little pandas, we'd all have to wear blue doctor suits with masks.
And why did you have to wear that?
That's a really good question. I kept asking that myself. But that way, if anybody has a cold, they don't give the cold to a panda. But pandas like to smell your breath, because that's how they communicate. So they're always trying to pull the mask off.
So, what do you hope viewers will take away from this wonderful film?
I hope when people see this movie, they understand how precious pandas are, and that it's really important not just to see pandas in the zoo, but to have wild pandas thriving in China.
And could you show us your greatest panda face impression?
My greatest panda face? Maybe I could make a better panda sound.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
So they like scream like.
Yeah, they'll make lots of squeaks. Or I could do my panda snoring sound when they're sleeping. They're like.
Thank you so much.
That's the sound of panda sleeping.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for letting me having you. I'm with David Douglas, who is the co-director of Pandas. So, what was it like filming in China?
Well, China is a fascinating country. There are many things about it which are surprising. We mostly come to understand it as a huge urban center with many people, but in fact there are fabulous mountains and beautiful wildlife and beautiful wild places in China.
And what do you hope viewers will take away from this wonderful family-friendly movie?
Well, I hope that people understand that there is a path to success for reestablishing keystone species into places in the wild where they may have disappeared. It's possible to reestablish them, and I think that's one of the things that people will come to understand from this movie.
And what was the biggest challenge directing this movie, and why?
The biggest challenge for working around animals is always to have animals which are willing to welcome you into their space, and so it takes a fair amount of time to reach a position of trust with those creatures.
I'm with Ben, who was the researcher for the black bears. So what was it like working with bears?
Bears are great animals. They're big animals. They got big teeth and they're powerful claws. But if you understand them, you can work with them very easily. They're very easy to communicate with. They can read our emotional communication, facial expressions, body language, intensity of vocalizations. So they're very much like us in many, many respects.
And how much do bears weigh?
Bears can weigh up to, well, the female bears we work with can be 200 pounds. The males can go up to 500 pounds.
And what's the bear's favorite food?
Bears are omnivores. They eat, the black bear eats 85% vegetative matter, and 10 to 15% is animal protein, and of that, 90 to 95% is ants, bees, and grubs, insects.
And what's the funnest part about working with bears?
The funniest part is that they can manipulate you and tackle you and jump on you and do all kinds of crazy things that you'd never expect. They really like to play. And they will engage you in play at all times, and it can be pretty rigorous play. They're powerful animals.
And could you show us your best bear impression?
Oh.
Well, thank you so much for letting me interview you.
You're welcome.
Hi, and I'm with Jacob Owens, who is the researcher of Pandas. So, what's it like working with pandas?
It's great. Pandas are some of the funniest, weirdest animals to work with, and I work with animals all over the world, and I'm continually surprised by how weird they are. They're a lot of fun.
And And I saw in the trailer the handlers were like wearing masks and a special gown. Why do they wear it?
So when pandas are young, they're maybe more susceptible to getting a disease, to getting sick. So we want to take every precaution to make sure that they don't get sick. I mean, the chance is very low, but we just want to make sure. So we wear those gowns and we wear a mask to make sure that they don't get sick. And as they get older, they get more healthy, more stronger immune system, and then they're able to fight off diseases, and we don't have to worry about it as much.
And I saw when Chen Chen was released in the wild, he had like a neck collar with a box on it. Why is that?
So one of the most important things is following the animals after they go out into the wild. We don't know, the success of what we're doing unless we can track them in the wild. And so that collar has GPS, just like a phone has, just like a car has. It also has a radio signal on it. So we can track them by hand, and we can also follow what they're doing in the wild. And it'll tell us, where they're going and what they're doing, and that helps us make sure that she's doing well. And if there's a problem, then we can also find her and help her.
And what's the biggest challenge in working with pandas?
The biggest challenge of working with pandas, pandas aren't really more difficult than other species. They're just unique. They have a very weird lifestyle. They eat bamboo all day, they sleep a lot, and also there's a lot left to learn about them in the wild. So, trying to learn more about them to help continually protect them and conserve them, that's one of the challenges, but it's also one of the coolest things, because as a scientist, I want to learn. And so there's a lot left to learn about giant pandas, and that'll help us protect them more.
And why did you guys choose Chen Chen out of all of the other pandas?
Chen Chen, even as a young panda, she was very smart. She was very mobile, so she can climb trees, she could run around. She was also very independent, so sometimes she'd want to spend time with me or Xiaobi, but a lot of times she'd also go off on her own and do her own thing, and that's a very panda-like thing to do. So she had a lot of behaviors that seemed like she would do well out in the wild, so that's why we selected her.
That's great. And could you show us your greatest panda impression?
Ooh, that's...
Well, thank you so much for letting me interview you.
My pleasure. Great job.
What did you enjoy most about working on this project?
Oh, wow. I enjoyed learning about the pandas because I didn't know anything about pandas before I started. And because it's an IMAX film, you are up close and personal with these pandas, and you're learning so much information and understanding their personalities. And it was a real treat to feel like a panda.
And what do you hope viewers will take away from this wonderful family-friendly movie?
I hope viewers, kids and adults alike, will understand how deep the connection can be between humans and animals, and how important it is to help these species survive so that our kids get to be exposed to every single species we have today.
And what's your greatest panda impression?
Oh, I mean, probably when I'm in just like a deep hug, because they do really like to hug.
Well, thank you so much for letting me interview you. So I just got out from watching the amazing documentary Pandas. It was so cute. I learned so much about Chen Chen's little journey and also about pandas. Kristen Bell did an amazing job of narrating. I got to meet like Kristen Bell, Ben, Jacob, David, Drew, and so much other people. And we were doing like cupcake decorating, and they had a bunch of food. So delicious. And they put it in these little panda little to-go boxes. Look how cute this is. You definitely don't want to miss this amazing documentary. It airs April 6th. Don't want to miss it. Panda out. Panda.
Pandas.